Every year, Samantha and I come up with a theme for her birthday party. This year's theme was actually brought about because she wanted to go to the escape room here in Morgantown, but we found out that she's too young. And so we kind of ran with the idea and thought, well, what if we made a birthday party that instead of escaping from the room, you have to find a key to a treasure? After brainstorming with my eldest sister, who was in cahoots with me for this whole thing, we decided it would be fun if that treasure belonged to a dragon. And that was all based on the Wings of Fire books, which Samantha has been reading and enjoying. Now, Samantha's favorite character in the Wings of Fire books is Tsunami, who's pictured here. She is one of the dragons that founds a school for all the types of dragons. Inside that school, there is a library. So I thought it would be fun to kind of set up the party as if the chest was found inside the library at this dragonette school. So we sent out an invitation with the following poem on it. At the Starshine Academy there is a dragon so sweet, who runs the library where the dragonettes meet. One day while dusting she knocked down a book. Behind it she found a cobwebby nook. After glancing into it she came to a stop. There sat a hidden chest with a scroll tied on top. She unrolled the scroll with trembling talons. Inside were the words, "Greeting, young dragons. So much do I love puzzles and clues, I had to leave some for you to work through. To retrieve the treasure that is hidden within, you must use teamwork to get to the end. To start your search for the missing key, please attend Samantha's birthday party." When our party guests arrive at our home, one of the things that they'll spot is a treasure chest with a scroll tied on top, just like it said in the invitation. At the bottom of that scroll will be the clue to get them started, and when you hold it up to the mirror, it says, "Lewis Carroll wrote Through the Looking Glass, a story about a girl named Alice. This wasn't Alice's first adventure, though. Where else did Carroll's Alice go?" That will lead them to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I'll have this book along with a few other books and some tools they need for the party on the same table as the chest with the scroll. When they open the book to the page with a bookmark, they see this picture. On the next page is this little clue. It says the Cheshire Cat, pictured here, would grin and then just disappear. He is sitting where you should look, in the room, not in a book. This should take them to our cat tree, which is in the living room. Hidden inside a little cubby that's part of the cat tree will be a bunch of puzzles like this one here. Inside each puzzle will be a piece of paper that has some instructions, and as you can see from my picture, some of the puzzle pieces have something written on the back of them. The first thing they have to do is put together their jigsaw puzzles and then flip them over. Now I only put together the parts that were important for this picture, but as you can see, each puzzle will say on the back a part number as well as a code. So the code goes to the secret decoder wheels, which will be on the table with all their other tools, and the instructions they're given tells them how to set up their wheel so that the outside wheel's letter lines up with the inside wheel's number. Once they do that, they have their code that's written down on their piece of paper, and this one is the FRCQ is the first part of it. And they look for the letter on the inside wheel, so it's F, and they find out what the letter is on the outside wheel, which would be W. So W is the first letter in this actual code. After all 6 of our party participants, including Samantha, finish with their part of the clue, they can put them all together. I have colored letters here just to tell me how many letters each kid gets to decode. I made sure that they all had about the same amount to do and that none of them could figure out where to go next for their next clue until they had the whole poem together, and then when they find it, what to do. So this clue, as you can read, says, "With a rose-colored glass you will see the hint that is hidden inside of me. All share now the very next clue. The question is, in which?" And of course the answer is shoe. So here is the clue that will be found in the shoe. I'm going to try to be a little bit sneaky, and when our guests take off their shoes at the door, I'm going to try to slide it into one of their shoes. That way they can have another surprise of, "Oh my gosh, it's in my shoe." Anyway, as you can tell, you cannot see all the words in this clue. And going back to our last clue, we know that we need to use a rose-colored glass. So let's try to Back on the table of tools are these magnifying glasses I've made out of paper and red cellophane. And if you use that to look at the clue, you can read the words that are hidden underneath the hatch marks. So this whole clue reads, I have two locks but far more keys. I can enter but cannot leave. I have space but no room. Under me is your clue. Now, obviously, this is a riddle and it might be a little bit tough. So, if they need a little help, I can tell them that one of the two locks is a number lock. And if they still need help, then the other lock is the caps lock. And if they get those clues, hopefully they can then figure out that this riddle is referring to the keyboard at the computer that is also in the living room. Under the keyboard will be this QR code. Samantha's seen them before because I was practicing learning how to make them. And so she knows that the iPod, which will be on our table of tools, has a QR scanner in it. Now, the ones that I practiced with and the ones that she actually played with would reveal a sentence once you scanned it. Now, this is leading to my very, very best part because when she scans this, she's not going to get a sentence. Instead, it's actually going to link to a YouTube video. This is my favorite part of the game because my eldest sister, who was helping me with this game, actually took time to put together this video and wish Samantha a happy birthday and then deliver the next clue. She dressed up beautifully and it was super well done, but I'm not going to share it with you because I didn't get her permission to put it into my little documentary here. So let me instead tell you what it says. Her clue is the encyclopedia will be your tool to figure out the next clue. To find the topics that you must read, Google Translate is what you'll need. At the end of the YouTube video will be 3 terms in French that they have to use Google Translate to figure out the English translation for. Once they do, they can go to the Children's Encyclopedia, which again will be on the fabulous table of tools, and look up those 3 words. One of the words that they'll be looking up is hibernation. This is exactly the same word in French as in English, but it was so cute, this little picture of this dormouse, that I couldn't resist. When they get to the right page in the encyclopedia book, they'll find this little blue sticky note with their next clue on it. This one says, under the dormouse heading, find word number 10. So word number 10 is the. Now they do that for all 3 words that they translated from French, and they end up with the clue that says under the tabletop. This is the clue that they'll find underneath the table, and if they need help with it, there will be another clue in my pocket that I can give them, and my clue is, need some help with this clue? Here is what you need to do. First lay it flat upon the table, then wink and read it at eye level. This clue is definitely easier to see in person than on camera, but hopefully you can see that when I've tipped up this card, you can read in each peach, pear, plum. And then you turn the card 90 degrees and look across it again. It says, find the page with everyone. Each peach, pear, plum is a special book to us because it was sent to the girls by their Aunt Amanda, who lives in Wales. And they know the story well enough to find the last page, and I'm sure they'll help their friends get there as well. So on the picture that goes with this page is yet another clue. This one says, to open the lock, a name you will need. It is not Samantha, what could it be? In order for you to complete this game, you must find out her middle name. So the lock it's referring to is actually this one, and this whole thing will be on the table with all the other tools. It is a red pencil pouch that has 3 grommets in it, so you can put it inside a 3-ring binder. I have put their next clue inside it, zipped it closed, and then fastened the zipper to one of those grommets so that it can't be unzipped until they open the lock. This is a close-up of the lock. It is a letter lock, and right now I have it set at the word play. Once I put in Samantha's middle name, it will pop right open. Inside the pouch, they'll find the sheet of paper that has 2 parts to it. The first is a crossword puzzle, and the second are the colored boxes that are at the top of the sheet. Beside that are the instructions. Says, this is what you need to do. Unscramble the letters to get your clue. All the answers you have found today in the process of playing this game. So the questions that they have, or the hints I guess I should say, for the crossword puzzle are things like where Carol's Alice went. That's Wonderland. Dormice hibernate in these cozy things. So those are nests. We have the animal who hid the chest, that's a dragon. Another one would be another name for a looking glass, that's a mirror. Video clue was found here, that's YouTube. When they finish filling it out, they'll have all the letters they need in the coded boxes, and when they unscramble the words, it will say, "Wet the scroll." And that brings us right back to where we started with the scroll. Now the scroll is not going to look like this. When I get it all put together, it's going to be wrinkly, and I'm going to burn edges off the outside of it. It's going to be rolled up and tied, so it's definitely going to look all weird and wrinkly and everything. And the bottom of it's going to be a little bit messed up like this little sheet of paper here. That is until you get it wet, and then it looks like this. Ta-da! If you can't tell what my drawing is, it's a vase with some flowers in it. Now there is a vase that has been in my living room for a while with some artificial flowers in it. I put it out way ahead of time so that Samantha would not consider it something new when her party started. When once they pull the flowers out of the vase, out will pop the key that will open the treasure trunk. I'm finishing this video after the party has happened so that I could get some pictures here to show you what the treasure was. And it was most gratifying to hear the girls when they opened up the treasure trunk and found this, because they all went, "Ooh," which just totally tickled me. Here are all the components of that treasure all sorted out. On the left are these ballpoint pens that have a maze in the plastic, and then it's covered with a clear plastic, and in between are two little balls that you can roll around in the maze. And then next to them are these bracelets I bought at the store, and I tried to get a wide variety so the girls could choose the ones that they liked best. Next to that are some foil wrapped chocolate coins. At the top of the picture are some glitter necklaces, and these Samantha actually helped me make, so she knew they were in the prize. She also knew about the things that are all the way down the right hand side. Now these are backpack clips, sorry, and each one of them has a picture of a dragon on it. And then Samantha took it one step further and made a little description, a little story of each one of the little dragons so that her friends could choose the clips that they liked best and then find out a little bit more about the dragon on it. I thought the party went really well. The girls seemed to have a lot of fun, and I enjoyed putting it together, and appreciate my sister for helping me since she came up with some of the ideas. And I don't know, I'd do it again, but if you do this, do be warned it takes a long time. I started working on this in September, and her birthday was in November. But like I said, we had a great time. Hope you enjoyed seeing what we did.